Looking good? Ready to go? Oh, even higher. All right. Thank you very much for joining us on the Housing Debrief, episode 1000. Just kidding. It's episode 23. Holy cow. If you do the math, that shows you how we do it twice a week. Tells you we've been doing it for a while now. And we will continue to do it. So, right on. So, Stephen Thomas, Quantitative Economics, Decision Science major at UC San Diego. We'll introduce you in a second, young man. Somebody's off in the distance making noise. Wonder who it is. 29 years in the business. Orange County native, Cap Valley High School grad, 9 kids. I'm an avid runner, and you know what? Here are our incredible children. There are, I brought 6, my wife brought 2. We're a Brady Bunch family. I adopted her, she adopted mine, and we had that beautiful guy right there. Speaking of that beautiful guy, come on over here. Come here, buddy. This guy in his Blippy shirt, Ezekiel Creed, also known as Ezeki. Look, you're supposed to look that way. Why are you looking? You're looking the wrong way. You're right there. See? Say hi. Wave. Wave. Say wave to everybody. Say hello. How are you doing? This is Zeke. Speaking of kids, I have another little kid running around. Come on over here. This is Brennan Joseph. He's the one with the Nike cap in the background. Oh, Brennan Joseph. He came back to Washington State University, and now you're officially a sophomore. It's a cute kid. Cute kid. You know what I mean? So he's a lot of fun to have around. He's been playing with the kids, a lot of soccer, and so just glad to see another one of our kids. The other one moved in, that you saw, Kyler. Kyler's moved in with his sister, so lose an older one, get another one. A lot of fun. So anyway, Zeke, you go have fun watching television and all that good stuff. So thank you very much for joining us. That is my family. We're awesome. We also have a dog, so we're the Thomas 10 plus our little Zeke plus now a dog. And that's how my prayers go. In that order. My background, I've been sending everything to all the different press across the United States and over the globe, and it all started by sending everything to Orange County Register, so slowly but surely ended up all over the place. Reports on Housing, that's the name of my company. That's what I do. It's your local real estate snapshot. It's a real good snapshot of exactly what's going on in the marketplace. It's not like just sold data. It's not just any information, lots of charts. There are great places to get that. Altos Research is one of those where if you're really statistics heavy, they have that. They have that in spades. However, I don't like to talk about closed sales data because I want to talk about that's rearview mirror, looking in the rearview mirror and trying to operate your vehicle. I really don't care that much about April, May. I really do start to care about June, but we're not going to see June until we get to July, mid-July on, and they won't report that till the end of July. I'll be able to report it after the 10th of July. So I want to know what's going on right now. So the way I can tell what's going on right now is by looking at the active inventory, that's supply and demand. The last 30 days worth of pending sales velocity. That's supply and demand. When I do that, I can get a really good feel for what the expected market time is. If you place a home on the market today, when is it going to escrow? And I've been calling it this whole entire time of where we're at. I said it's not like the Great Recession, we weren't going to go down in value. And as a matter of fact, we boomeranged really fast back up, as well as we're seeing a lot of health in the upper markets. It's all about setting expectations. That is my whole goal. That is why I put together this report so that I can properly set the expectations of buyers, sellers, and empower everybody out there to have the right data to make the right decisions. So I have reports for LA, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, and San Diego, and all those counties. San Bernardino, Riverside just hit their annual mark. San Diego and LA hit their annual mark a couple months back. But it's really cool because now we have a lot of data to compare and contrast year over year in cities, areas, because the city of San Diego and the city of LA are so huge. I actually broke those down into areas so that you can get a really good feel for where are we right now, where we were 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and 1 year ago. And so The latest report just came out last night, and San Diego County is about to get theirs this evening. It is hotter than last year. And we'll get into those numbers, kind of talked about that on Friday, and that is the whole nature of this report, talking about what's going on, why is it hotter than last year, and what is materializing before our eyes. Matter of fact, one of the surprising points of this is I talk about the luxury ranges in the luxury paragraph that I have, and that particular paragraph really drills down to what's going on. It's kind of surging right now. There was like a 2-week lag in luxury, and it's really doing a lot better right now. So, reportsonhousing.com, you go there and you subscribe, and you can get sample reports that are on my website, and they come out every 2 weeks. And there's a PDF version, a Microsoft Word version, lots of Excel spreadsheets and charts. Comes out every 2 weeks. This Thursday I will be snapping the totals for San Bernardino and Riverside for next Monday. So I do it every 2 weeks. I alternate 3 counties, San Diego, LA, and Orange County for this week, and then San Bernardino, Riverside next week. And I keep alternating like that. $15 per month, $150 per year. You get a month free, and if you're not a subscriber, you should be. Just use the coupon code SPICY, because the market is getting spicy. That's the way I like things, spicy. I had a quesadilla for lunch, and it had pickled peppers in it, spicy pickled peppers. So that's the way I like it, spicy. That is our coupon code for checking out when you're subscribing. And I would like to thank our incredible sponsor, Antis Real Estate Photography. You know, Antis Real Estate Photography has been servicing all of Southern California for 8 years, offering a wide variety of marketing solutions. I can't even speak today. Offering a wide variety of marketing solutions, such as photography, drone images, videography, 3D walkthroughs, and virtual staging. They tracked over 1,000 properties in the third and fourth quarters of 2019, and those homes sold for over 30% faster than the other properties on the market. Their customer service team, over 10 skilled photographers and an in-house editing team, will make your properties and personal brand stand out online. Make your first impression count on the Antis Real Estate Photography team to help you out. And Antis Real Estate Photography, they can be reached at 949-533-7369. That's 949-533-7369. And info@antisphotography.com. You can also reach them there. I'm going to do some spring fun photos. My kids start summer and they go, "Aren't you going to change this to summer fun photos?" And I said, it's not, summer really doesn't begin until the 20th. So they have a little waits to wait for me to update the slide, even though their last day of school is Thursday. Can you believe it's summer? It's like as if every single day is the same. And I guess we get to stop with the learning at home, although we have summer workbooks always, because they have to have some sort of structure, right? And so we won't be updating that slide until later. But I do have a warning. There are some really good dad jokes. So if you don't like good dad jokes, plug your ears right now, because that's your warning. I'm so sorry, but I love good dad jokes. COVID-19 baptism ceremony. Looks like the priest is trying to sacrifice the child. That's social distancing. That's how you baptize a baby, I guess. Why do I feel compelled to wave at the end of Zoom calls? I've literally never walked out of a meeting room waving. And it's the funniest thing, we all do that now. We're all waving at the end of our Zoom calls. We're getting the peace sign, little fist bump. How about I tell jokes, dad jokes, periodically? I want the shirt. Oh, hi, I'm Heather. I'll be your server this evening. Can I start you off with some drinks? Good stuff, right? Okay, here a Pisa Tower nowadays, after not having any tourists trying to hold it up. That's great. Okay, here's the dad joke. I had to have the warning. Should have put it right before this. On average, a panda feeds for approximately 12 hours per day. This is the same as an adult at home under quarantine, which is why we call it a pandemic. That's good stuff, isn't it? Love it. Anyways, all right, let's get into the Southern California housing market. Supply versus demand. It was the showdown. The showdown is just absolutely fizzling out. Very, very low supply versus very, very low demand. Guess what we still have? Very, very low supply is a clue. Guess what we have a lot more of? Demand. It's no longer a showdown. It was a showdown of low demand, which favors buyers, and low supply, which favors sellers. This is the active listing inventory. This is where we are at right as of last Thursday. And I kind of crunch the numbers like I always do. This is a little update for Tuesday. I'll do another little update on Friday to let you know where we're at. But last Thursday, we're at 31,055. It was down 1% in 2 weeks. Now, the 5-year average was actually up 0.5% in 2 weeks. So we're going the wrong direction for us having an extremely anemic inventory. It's not the direction I'd like to see. I'd actually like to see us shake the trees and get more homes on the market, because we far too few homes on the market. Ask any buyer that's looking for a home below $1 million. That 500 to million along the coast, very, very hard. The 2 to 500,000 San Bernardino Riverside County, getting very, very, very hard. Last year we were at 43,531 homes. That's the difference between last year and this year. That's 40% more homes on the market compared to right now. And today we're at 30,590. So when I snapped it, we're actually down another 1%. Gosh darn it. We're going the wrong direction. Continue to go wrong direction. Let's shake those trees. Hello, homeowners. It is time to come on the market. The water is good. It is like 85 degrees. You do not need to wear a wetsuit. Good surf. You won't drown. There's no rip current. You're going to love it. The water's great. Come on in. So May 2013 was the last time we saw the inventory at these kind of very, very extremely low levels. If you remember back at May 2013, or all of 2013 at the very beginning, by the time we got to about the June of 2013, which right about now, we started to see 2013 numbers, the active inventory start to rise. So, but that's what we're hoping. I'm hoping for more homes to come on the market at this point. In 2007, we had 4 times the number of homes that we have right now in the market. The reason why I talk about that, and I talk about it over and over again, I'll have it on my slides for a long time, is because everybody likes to compare every time we go into a recession, which we are in the midst of a pandession, also known as a recession, but it was not one singular shoe that dropped. It was not a single sector of the economy that brought us the whole thing down. It was the coronavirus forced stoppage to save lives. So with that said, everybody thought it was supposed to go to hell in a handbasket, and they were comparing it to the Great Recession. And the big difference is we don't have the inventory. We have 30,000 homes in the market versus over 100,000 back in 2007. Way more homes in the market back then. So LA County from last Thursday to right now is up 1% in their inventory, and they're the only ones going up. Orange County is flat. It's almost the same as last Thursday. Riverside County is down 4%. San Bernardino is down 2%, and San Diego County is down 1%. And number of new for sale signs for the prior 4 weeks from last Thursday, and looking at that, it is down 32%, so down a third compared to the 5-year average for that same 4-week period of time. So we're still not placing enough homes on the market. So attention sellers, it is time to come on the market. If you're concerned about waiting and you don't think the water's good, water's good. 85 degrees, so nice, like Hawaiian waters right now. COVID-19 is suppressing supply, absolutely is. And let's take a look at so we do have a supply problem, absolutely. Supply problem versus a demand problem. We've talked about this. This poor little girl's lemonade stand, we couldn't buy it because of social distancing, and we didn't know how to buy our lemonade without thinking we were going to get germs. And then we figured it out, because as an industry, we adapted. We've got all the signs, we've got all the contracts, we've done everything that you need to do. The real estate industry figured it out. And as a result, they're doing transactions again. They're wearing masks, they're wearing gloves, they're utilizing the contracts to let sellers know that they're coming through. There are on listings, there are the proper contracts and forms and everything else posted on the doors. We know how to work in this environment. The housing market is strong. Do not compare it to 2006, 7, and 8. It's not the same thing. We're not using our houses as piggy banks. We weren't. We were actually had to qualify for loans. Dead people can't purchase loans. Dogs can't purchase loans, and there's not fraud going on anything close to what we were dealing with prior to the Great Recession. It was just subprime and all that junk. So it was very strong. So COVID-19 was suppressing demand. It's not suppressing it any longer. We've adapted, and as a result, we have the proper PPE. We can sell lemonade again. We know what we're doing. And it's not only demand awakening, it's sprinting right now. And if you see this is the V-shaped curve that I was talking about. I was talking about it when it was a half a V, but we saw the direction I was headed, that it was going to be V, and the V was completed when I did it last Thursday. Last Thursday, we were at 15,554. It's up 25% in 2 weeks. That was an extra 3,671 escrows in 4 weeks. So in comparing it to all the way down here to all the way up here, it was 3,000, or actually it's just this portion right here, it's 3,671 homes in 4 weeks. That's a lot of extra escrows compared to this, what we refer to as inherent demand. We were comparing this to the Great Recession. It was inherent demand. It is no longer inherent demand. Last year we were at 16,970. That's only 9% difference. I can't even draw the little thing that goes here anymore because you can't even see it. It's so small. So 16,970. The difference is 9%, and that difference, is beginning to disappear. As a matter of fact, I think by the time it gets to the end of the week that we will surpass this orange line. And I don't know where we're going to fall, where we flatten, because once we get to a certain number, it will flatten. The percentages are already getting slow because this was 25%. Prior, it was even higher in the 30s. Now it's 25%. It will start to diminish, but at what point will it equal? I believe we're going to surpass 2019, and we're going to be someplace in here. And that's if we get enough homes to be placed on the market, that's where we'll end up. So we need more homeowners to come on the market. The last time I said it was mid-February, but now I'm comparing it. Today we're at 16,059. That's up 3% from last Thursday. This down a 0.5% is how much less we are from last year's level, 16,970. It's now only a 0.5% off. Holy cow, that's hardly anything. Hardly anything at all. That's why I think by the end of this week, we're going to surpass last year's numbers. And so that year over year, we can say demand is higher. Year over year, supply is the lowest level since 2013. So the combination of those two is going to create quite a spectacularly hot housing market in Southern California as a whole. And March 5th, I just did that, didn't I? I don't know why I did that twice. So it said March 5th. I have no idea what I was doing right there. That's pretty funny that I did that. Anyways, so it's a V-shaped recovery, and that's what we're looking at right now. V-shaped recovery. And there's that V, but let's look at LA. Since last Thursday, what's happened to their demand? Up 3%. Orange County, up 5%. 5%. If I was doing it off screen, you can't even see over here. Riverside County, up 4%. And San Bernardino County is up 3%. San Diego County, up 2%. So demand up, and remember the inventory, LA was the only one with rising inventory. Everywhere else, Orange County is flat. All these were negative. What does that mean? When you have demand that's going up and you have the inventory that's remaining flat or going down, that's a recipe for the market getting hotter. And that's exactly what's going on. For Southern California, this is where we were as of last Thursday. We're at a 60-day expected market time. It's actually 59.7 something. So it's officially in hot seller's market because its hot seller's market is below 60 days. And that's where we're at right now. Excuse me. Pickled peppers. SoCal, April 16th was at 109 days. And I wanted to bring that up because gosh, when you compare it to where we were, 109 days, we fell all the way down to 60 days. Fell below last year, fell below the prior year as far as expected market time is concerned. And now we're making our way towards 2017. That is the heat of all of Southern California. And SoCal last year was at 77 days. So you could see way better than last year at 60 days. SoCal today, so when I take today's active inventory for all of Southern California, remember it's down, and then I take the demand, which is up, and factor that together, the SoCal today is at 57 days. It is getting hotter. It is definitely getting hotter. Grab your marshmallows and grab the chocolate and graham crackers. Time to make s'mores. The Southern California housing market is officially hot. And if you look at this, Los Angeles County is at 67 days. So they're down 2. So they're not quite at hot. Slight sellers, but it's getting hotter. So the market's going to start to elevate. We're going to start to see some appreciation in some of the price ranges. When you get below 60 days for the whole entire county, and the lower you get, the hotter the market gets, the more appreciation that you see in many, many price ranges. Orange County is at 70-day expected market time. It shed 4 since last Thursday. It is definitely going down. It will dip into the 60s shortly, probably by tomorrow. It'll be there. Riverside County is at 51-day expected market time. That's down 4. That is fiery hot. San Bernardino County is at 48 days. That's down 2 days from last Thursday. And San Diego County, 48 days, down 1. And now San Bernardino, San Diego County, they're going to duke it out for who's number 1. San Diego County has been number 1 for years. I'm interested to see if San Bernardino can become number 1. Come on, you guys, sell some more houses in San Bernardino and San Diego. Matter of fact, let's do it across the board. Let's get more houses on the market instead. I don't really care about getting so hot where we see the elevation in prices. What I'm actually rooting for are more homes coming on the market. And that way we can do more transactions. It will keep a lid on appreciation. I don't like to see appreciation outpace any type of inflation. So what kind of appreciation am I happy with? About 2% per year and per annum. That's it. That's all I like to see right now. I don't want to see it go too high because then you create what is called a bubble. And that's not the direction that we want to go. So buyer's market, it is not, and balanced market, it is not, and the slight seller's market, that's in LA and Orange County, but you know what? They're knocking on the door. They want to join the party over here. Riverside County and San Bernardino County and San Diego County are all in the hot sellers markets, and and LA and Orange County, they're getting closer. They want to join this party with the rest of Southern California, and so there are certain price ranges. We went over this on Friday, and but the collective as a whole, when you have a slight seller's market, it has more of this kind of a feel where there's not a ton of fish, but there are fish. Just be patient, keep your pole in the water. It might take you 67 days to get an offer, 70 days to get an offer. But when you're down in like at the 48-day expected market time level, the overall feel of the market it's really hot. So, and when that happens, you're casting your net and you're getting a lot of interested buyers. But that is predicated on 2 things. Number 1, pricing your home right. And number 2, making sure your condition and all upgrades are right. You can still get it for the right price, but people aren't willing to sacrifice their price enough for condition that needs to be addressed. So the best thing to do is to address all the condition and all the bells and whistles and the professional agents are able to steer people in the right directions, and some of them even work with designers, and they have professional staging and all that stuff. You could even do electronic staging at this point of time with vacant homes, and then it all boils down to just pricing that as close as you can to fair market value. And the reason for that is because, gosh, I should do one of these for one of these episodes. I should write that down in here. That's a little slow up here. That's why I don't like to write it down up there. But really. You got to take advantage of the market within the first few weeks. The longer you're on the market, in this kind of a environment, and you have to reduce the price. When you reduce the price, you've actually lost valuable market time. It's those first few weeks that are so essential, and I actually boil it down to the first 2 weeks because I was a buyer recently, and I'll tell you, my wife and I, we were ready to hop on anything that we saw. But once they start reducing the price, it kind of like it's lost in the mix, in the noise, because there's reasons that we might have discounted it after we were looking at so many houses. Those houses that reduce it down the road, gosh, you kind of discount it, they don't get as much activity. It's very, very important to price right out of the box with the correct price as close as you can to fair market value. As a matter of fact, even if you price it right at fair market value or even like a couple $1,000s less, you'll get enough activity in this kind of a marketplace where when you're below $1 million that it will pop. And if it doesn't pop, it means you're still priced most likely wrong or incorrectly, or something's wrong in that mix. So that's my little spiel on that. Low mortgage rate environment, that is what is fueling this whole entire thing. It has been absolutely rock solidly awesome with low mortgage rates fueling everything. We have hit a record at 3.15% for all for the average of mortgage companies across the United States. 3.15%. I even checked this morning, it's down a little bit more. We're at about 3%, so interest rates have dropped to that 3% level. I was not thinking that we'd get into the twos, but every time I do that, it happens. So because I'm thinking that, it might happen. That's just how it works. It's very hard to prognosticate exactly where interest rates are coming, because we could start seeing more things come online and we see that 10-year treasury start to lift. And if we start to get some lift and it goes above 1%, it can't get below that 3%. But right now where it's at, it actually has room to drop. Just understand that with the 10-year treasury and its hold on where the 30-year mortgage is going, it's a bit broken. And the reason it's broken is because there are capacity issues, but there's some problems under the hood of the mortgage market. But I updated these charts for all of you. And the reason I did that is because the low mortgage rate environment, you can see what it does. At $700,000 mortgage, you're looking at, this is November of 2018 when we had 5% mortgage rates. Look at where they're at today, $29.51. I did a presentation earlier at that 3.15%. And now that it's down to 3%, it's now below $3,000 for a $700,000 mortgage. It was way higher, $3,758. The difference in savings is $807 a month, which is close to 10 grand per year. Do the math for 500,000, it's 6,900. A million is 13,800. And this just shows you the buying power of buyers in the marketplace. At 5% interest rates, they were looking at a little bit less than a $700,000 house. Now that it gets 3%, it keeps moving the needle as to what they qualify for. Now they're qualifying for an $890,000 house, from $700,000 to $890,000 house. And what's the difference? Low rates. Low rates, when rates drop, it increases buyers' buying power. So they are able to purchase more as interest rates drop if they wanted to keep the same payment. That's all it does. And that's why we're seeing all these buyers eager to purchase that were sitting on the sidelines before, and they want to take advantage of what's going on right now today. And if you look at, people like to compare it to the Great Recession, so I updated this puppy again just to show you what happened with the $700,000 mortgage. You could pick your lane. And for San Bernardino Riverside, I have another lane. I think I bring it down a little bit lower because it makes sense with lower priced homes. And but at $700,000, I'm just picking one right now to talk about, and that's the difference between a payment at 3% and 6.35% is $1,400 per month. It's nearly $17,000 per year. That's the difference in savings with these low interest rates. This is more than double. You see that? And that is why it is such a significant savings, especially in the upper ranges. You see these upper ranges, you can see how much of a savings it is. But even at $500,000 mortgage, which is still a lot of mortgage. Come on, guys, it's $500,000. You can go buy a $500,000 house in Wisconsin, where my brother's from, and that thing is sitting on a giant piece of land and is a giant house. So let's be real. The rest of the country doesn't have these kind of numbers. As a matter of fact, if they watch this, they would think, what is he talking about? $700,000. Is everybody rich here? And no, that's not the way it works in California. It's just we're more expensive because we're California, right? But even at $500,000, you're looking at saving $12,000 per year compared to the Great Recession. That's a lot of money. It's disposable income. $12,000 is a trip around the world. $12,000 is a very nice vacation. Or just put it away, put it in your savings account. So let's talk about coronavirus, and we're at 6.3 million around the world. And if you look at this, you can see some others that are coming online, Russia, but look at this, Peru and Chile and Mexico. they're all having issues as well. So just understand that there are other people that are coming online, which is why the world looks like this, going the wrong direction. These are the number per day. It hit a new record a few days ago with the number that have come on that have come online. That's not good. And for the United States, we're at 1.8 million. And if you look at this is Los Angeles, the number 3 most impacted county. I didn't think that they were going to catch Cook County in Illinois, but they're making a run for their money, and that's not a good thing. So understand that. And we'll have to watch this, how this plays out. I don't know, and I've heard some things about everybody being outside for all of the demonstrations that are going on. But I heard that that's not where the bad part is. The bad part is if they all go into a house together to plan and all that stuff. It just takes one person to infect. Gosh, we saw that in South Korea. One guy went bar hopping and went dancing at five different nightclubs and infected 118 people. So it doesn't take much to start this thing. It's like wildfire. So let's just be mindful of wearing our masks and proper social distancing while doing any kind of demonstrating out there. This is the United States. You can see it's going the right direction, right? It looks like it's coming down, but what does it look like? Well, thanks to this awesome slide, these are the people at 91-DIVOC, COVID-19 backwards. It's computer engineers, and they created this. This is a 7-day moving average. You can see it kind of like plateaued recently. We're way up here. We've come down, but it's kind of doing this thing. We need it to come down further. We need the gold standard like Germany or South Korea to take hold and for it to continue to go down. The good news is the amount of testing that we're doing. We're doing a lot of testing now, thankfully, and we're getting up there. We still need to do about 500,000 per, because we want it well below 5%. 5% is the minimum threshold that's acceptable, and we're finally there. 4% was yesterday. That's fantastic. We need to see more numbers like that and continue to keep it down below 5%. 2.5% would make me even happier. So that would be everybody's next goal, is to get that thing down. And the only way to do that is to do 500,000 tests per day. And they need to do that soon so that everybody feels a little bit more comfortable about going out. And that's why testing is so important. Because otherwise people aren't going to go out. Even though we unlock the economy, people are very leery about infections and that type of stuff. And this is the hospital count. You can see it's going the right direction. This is as of today. Actually June 1st, but it's looking a lot better than where we were. This was way back in April, mid-April, and it's coming way down. So, and it should dissipate by the time we get to August. That is what we're counting on. This is California. This is the 7-day moving average. We are going in the wrong direction. We are the bad state. Even though we have had a really good lockdown, it's a lot of the people that were out there in the midst of the pandemic that are really getting hit hard in certain areas. And those are the people that are the first responders and the essential workers that were out there going back to areas where it's a little bit more dense. And we have that density, that's where we're having a problem. And we're seeing those problem areas surface all throughout Southern California. It's at 115,000 total cases in California right now. And Southern California is home to the 5 of the worst counties in all of California. If you stack them up from top to the bottom, we've seen what that looks like. And LA has 56,000 cases alone. They're getting closer to being half the total of all of California. And then you have Riverside County is 8,000, and you have San Diego at 7,500, and OC at 6,500, and San Bernardino at 5,400. And so we're talking about unlocking the society, and we know what that looks like. It looks like this. But when are people really going to feel comfortable to do this in adequate numbers? And this is really what it is, because 57% would rather be extremely mindful about controlling the spread, and 37% were not ready to reopen. So that 57% controlling the spread, they weren't. They thought it was more important than reopening. Restarting the economy, 37% thought it was more important to restart the economy. And then, are you willing to go out to stores? 40% stores, restaurants, and other public places. 40% said yes. 58% no. It's just too early. And this is like, etc. Public places are like restaurants and things like that. So when they lump them all together, I mean, people are going grocery shopping, but they're just not willing to maybe to sit down at a restaurant right now. I did. My father-in-law's restaurant, he has this, they've expanded the patio out into the parking lot, which is really awesome. And he has a pizza place in Mission Viejo and Ballpark Pizza Team. Don't get it confused with the other ones. It's Ballpark Pizza Team off of Los Lisos in Mission Viejo by the 241. Hey, they're building houses. They bulldozed down the rest of the strip center except for a few restaurants in this area, including my father-in-law's restaurant, and they're building houses. That's what they're going to do with some of this commercial buildings that are going to remain vacant for a long time. Best thing to do is just turn them into housing. But we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out, and slowly but surely, the people will see that and go, "Huh? You know what? That's social distancing. I'm ready for that. I'm going to go grab myself some pizza outside." And we got to play our cards right. We definitely have to play our cards right, and because we have to be very mindful of this COVID-19 second wave. This is what that keeps me up at night. Somebody says, what keeps you up at night? It's the COVID-19 second wave. And why does it? I'm an economist. I know that a second wave got too big and got out of hand, and we weren't very mindful of it coming and not wearing our masks and things like that because I forgot about it, you know. Those are the kind of things that I worry about, because if we have that, we're going to see a reverberation in the economy. And that's why they're saying, if you open up too early or too soon and you're not mindful, then there are issues down the road that could affect the overall economy. And that's just not where we want to be. So I think that we're going to be mindful. We're going to be talking about this quite a bit. So this is, as a society, we're going to be ready for this second wave. That's what I am counting on. That is what I am praying for. And the macroeconomic outlook, there's before the coronavirus, everything looked stellar. There's after the disease, everything looked negative. We had the unemployment from last week. Here's something else that I find negative. That's the personal savings rate for April. It spiked up to 33%. Part of this was that extra money that everybody's getting, $600 per week if they're on unemployment, and a lot of them are making more money than they were prior to being unemployed. And what they're doing with it is they're actually putting it in their banks and leaving it there. And banks are right now, they're flush with extra money and capital. And the reason for that is because of the savings rate. This is astronomical. If you go backwards, we haven't seen anything like it, this kind of a savings rate. And why consumers matter so much? Because consumption. I want to see them not save, but consume, because GDP relies on it, 69% of GDP. But here's something that is positive. That's the St. Louis Fed Financial Stress Index is coming back down to levels where we're not seeing as much stress. And that St. Ous Fed Financial Stress Index, it takes into consideration 18 weekly data series points. It's yield spreads, interest rates series, and there's other indicators they follow, and they mash them all together and they fill it out. Yes, we were totally stressed, but it's coming back down and it's looking a lot better. This is one of the slides that we'd like to see better. We'd also like to see unemployment start to go the other direction as well. So that's something else that we'll be mindful of and watching going forward. So when are we going to be back? When is America going to be back? Well, I'll tell you, housing is getting there, and we are a pillar of strength that can help the rest of the economy. We're the only real V that I can see right now. Instead, I think it's going to be kind of a long slog. This is my picture for a long slog. It's not going to be instantaneous. It's going to be that dial where it's slowly but surely coming on. We're going to be walking to the airport. It's not going to be really fast that we get there. So just understand that. Hey, with that, we've concluded episode 23. So go to real estate, go to reportsonhousing.com and hit subscribe, and you get a month free if you use the coupon code SPICY. And there are sample reports there. And I want to thank again Antis Real Estate Photography. Incredible company. I've known the owner for years. She is a phenomenal person. Absolutely love her. And I just want you to try Antis Real Estate Photography. They do a great job. I hear you, Zeke. And he's screaming in the background. Antis Real Estate Photography, 949-533-7369. Info at antisphotography.com. And that's it. I appreciate you all being here. I wish I had kids to hug, but you know what? The novelty of me doing this is starting to wear off. So occasionally I have kids here, but they're all downstairs watching a movie with their brother that came back. So Brennan. But Brennan hung out with me for a second to see the beginning of it. They like the funny slides and then they move on. So anyways, thank you for being here. We'll see you on Friday, and I look forward to seeing what the data looks like. It looks like it's going to continue to improve. Let's just hope that there's more homeowners that are coming on the market, so that when I do that 4-week snapshot, that it starts to look less and less where it's compared to the 5-year average. I want to see that thing start to rise and more people come on the market. That's what I'm hoping for. So stay safe out there. I have a kid. She's gonna say goodbye to everybody really quick. Goodbye, everybody. This is our little puppy dog. This is Luna, and this is Sunny, also known as Athena. Oh, say goodbye to everybody, Brennan. Really quick. This is where we all bring it in. I do have kids. See, they must have finished a movie. Aha, see?
No, we haven't finished it.
Cute kid. Love them. Thank you for being here. Stay safe. Have fun. Get some vitamin D.